Their theme song at the beginning, that was very catchy.
What was the
I
theme
will
song?
say. It was just
Oh yeah, it's like just a bunch of noise. It's scary, can you tell? Our music's all over the place. We're wacky. All right.
Hey everyone, welcome to
The Talking Reviews.
Yes, this is the show.
I'm Cody.
And I am Kevin.
And we just saw It Chapter 2. And now we're going to review it.
All right. Great segue.
Yeah.
I guess if you don't know about it, well, we're here to inform you about it.
This is the second one.
This is chapter 2.
Imperative that you
saga.
see the first one first.
Oh, yeah. After watching this, I felt like I should have.
Right. I know. It's funny. Yeah, we've seen the first one, but it's been since the theaters 2 years ago. So
right.
we both felt lost at certain points.
Yeah.
Who's this character supposed to be? And what is their relationship to each other? And
if you don't know, basically there's this town called Derry up in Maine. And all these people are from it, you know. If you watch the first one.
Maine.
Oh, he does.
He loves it.
Yeah. If you've seen the first one, you kind of know the shtick. There's a bunch of kiddos on their bikes going about the town, you know, trying to chase down this clown. And they ain't playing around.
I love your synopsis. This is great.
Anyway, they all, just about all of them leave, but one of them happens to stay behind. And he happens to take note when Pennywise the clown.
It seems like there hasn't been an incident in 27 years. I'm assuming it's because they weakened him at the end of the first one. That must have weakened him enough to warrant him hibernating for 27 years or something.
It's some kind of cycle of 27 years.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because it was starting to pick up again, you know, I guess one of the characters invites them all to the town, and hijinks ensue.
Yeah. Well, now they're all old, and Pennywise has returned, and now they have to take down the clown for good. Did you enjoy the film?
I enjoyed aspects of it.
Yeah.
Now, if someone were to ask me, "Hey, Kevin, it's a Friday night.
Yeah.
You want to watch It Chapter 2? I'll probably be like, no.
No, yeah, I never want to see this movie again. I would rewatch the first one. I didn't love the first one, but it's good.
Right. This is one of those movies I feel that needs to be watched back to back with the first movie.
So that's too long.
Just have a saga.
It's too long. This movie was
then
almost 3 hours long. It was 2 hours 50 minutes.
It was very long.
Just watch the first one. Don't even bother watching the second one.
Whoa.
The first one honestly has enough of a finale that it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. This movie's not worthless. There is cool moments, and it is cool to see the characters grown up. I feel like you lose some of that connection between them, though. They're separated for a lot of the movie. There's that first scene where they get back together at the Chinese restaurant, and they're kind of bonding, and it's like, I dug that. At that part of the movie, I was still with it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It's cool seeing them all back together again. And they're kind of riffing off each other like they were just back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
They separate, though, for most of the movie. And I feel like that was a detriment, because you really just kind of need those connections between the characters. And I don't know. I think I like the kids more just in general. It's not like the adult actors were bad. A lot of them were pretty good, but I don't know. I just felt it more with the kids. I felt their bond more, and I felt their characters more too.
Yeah, there's some kid scenes in this movie that kind of felt weird.
It's funny because so the original film, the not even direct to video, is a TV film. It has flashbacks back and forth between them being adults and being kids throughout the whole film. So you're getting bits and pieces here and there. Now, when they did the first It, they didn't do that method. They just did the kids. So you assume, right? Or I assumed at least, that the second movie was going to feature just the adults, or at least mainly the adults, right? But it does that thing. It does the thing that the original film did, and what I assume the book does, where it goes back and forth. And I don't think it's necessary. It feels like, a lot of it feels like filler. which is weird when you're in a 2-hour, 50-minute movie. It's like, I don't think we needed this filler. It doesn't really, the thing is, it wouldn't be filler if it was really delving deep into the characters and filling out their characters more, giving them more motivation, more depth, whatever it is. I didn't feel like it was doing that, though. It all just felt very extraneous and very unnecessary.
Yeah, they were probably like the middle of the movie. It just dragged.
If you cut out the second act of this film, if you only watch the first act and the third act, I think you'd get it. I don't think you'd be lost at all.
No.
I really don't think that second act was well conceived.
No.
You needed to have more depth into the characters, and you needed to have them actually doing stuff. They're not doing anything. In the first movie, they're like actively kind of searching out Pennywise, right? They're researching him. They're figuring out what he is. In this one, Mike, right?
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. Mike's already done all the research, so there's nothing really to look into more. He knows everything. So there's nothing really to do besides each of them go off, investigate different parts of their lives that they remember from when they were kids, and then get scared by Pennywise. Rinse and repeat. It just feels like a waste.
Yeah,
and it really drags.
It happened over and over and over again. It's just like, where's this all going? Exactly where they said they were going an hour ago.
Yeah, the plot is just very meandering. Plot was poor. Characters were fine. They were adequate. But again, I just wanted more depth to them.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, James McAvoy. God bless him.
Man, his accent would dip every now and then.
It was weird.
And I would remember that he's not American.
It's so hard. It's so hard to put myself in the mindset of just like going with it. I had the same problem with what's his name in The Boys? From Shaun of the Dead.
Simon
Pegg, because he does an American accent in The Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And I had that same problem. It's like, I'm so used to you having an accent. When you're doing an American one, it feels fake, but it's like, would I think that if I didn't know you had an accent? You know, it's like, it's hard. But yeah, James McAvoy, he just like, it really felt like he was really, really trying to do an American accent at times.
Yeah, and it would sound okay at parts, but there were other parts where he had like a little twang to it, and I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that's right. I know who you are.
He did have a twang. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, okay, so filmmaking wise, I thought it was directed well. There was some really cool transitions, some cool shots.
Yeah, no, there was one really neat transition with like the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked.
They did a couple with the sky, actually.
Yeah.
Mic is moving. I'm scared. Pennywise is after me. Yeah, some good stuff in there. The CG, a little extraneous at times.
The CG took me out of it sometimes, honestly. There were some scares that were supposed to be scary, but I'm just thinking...
That's a lump of CG.
That's a lump of CG that these people are just like, in a room by themselves.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's
a guy in a blue screen suit or something. Yeah, I don't know.
But it's
and
just
there's like some points where it's like a zombie or something like that, and it's like, dude, put someone in makeup. That would have been so much cooler.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's a humanoid. I don't see why that needed to be CG.
Yeah.
There's multiple moments like that where it's like, this could have been a really cool practical effect, especially nowadays, you know?
Right?
I guess it's just easier to do in CG, but it definitely takes away from the scare.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking away from the scare, a lot of comedy in this movie, and at some points it was totally out of place. And like,
even certain characters who are dropping it.
It's just at poor times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you should be scared right now, and instead you're making a joke. And it's like, I hate that. This is a horror movie. It's supposed to be scary, right?
Yeah.
Why are you... I understand alleviating tension in between scenes like that where they're just by themselves or whatever. Bill Hader, right? He's playing the funny kid from the first movie. I understand him being comedic relief, but not when I'm supposed to be scared. Either make me scared or make me laugh. I don't like the mix in between. It creates this weird middle ground where I'm not...
Because I wouldn't consider this a horror comedy.
It feels like a comedy at times, though, straight up. It feels like almost a parody of horror movies at certain points.
Yeah.
At certain points, which we may get into in spoilers. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I was disappointed because it's not like I loved the first one, but it was just, yeah, I don't think it was very good.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of CG, they did some parts where they just didn't have the foresight to film the kids when they were young in the first movie. And kids age really quickly, obviously. It's been 2 years, right? So they can't just use the same actors again and say it's from, the same time period as the first film.
Right.
So they de-aged some of them, and you can tell. But on top of that, there is like some of the worst ADR I've ever heard in a big movie like this. And
wow.
it really, like, I think the faces for the most part, like, I could tell they looked a little plasticky at times, but it's like, it's not that bad. It's passable.
Yeah.
But the ADR was atrocious.
Ooh, truly. Yeah. I had to I focused for a while because I thought I was imagining it at first, but my horrors were confirmed.
Were realized, yeah. The true horror was in the editing. Yeah, no, really, really bad ADR. It makes me wonder, like, because it's funny, because I was trying to pick it out, right? Which characters were de-aged and which weren't, or if all of them were, or if they weren't. The girl looked really good. So either they didn't de-age her, they didn't feel like they needed to, or it just worked really well on her. The ones that really stood out to me were the fat kid and Finn Wolfhard.
Right.
They both looked like really fake for whatever reason.
Ooh, yeah. Finn didn't look too good there.
He looked the worst for sure, which is weird because they spent a lot of time with him. You'd think they would really try to nail that. It looked like they gave him a different haircut. Did you notice that? It looked like they gave him a different haircut from the first movie in those reshot scenes. It was weird.
Because I wonder if they had filmed anything in those scenes, but they needed different takes. So maybe they had filmed some of that stuff.
All of the stuff from that first scene with the ADR, all of that felt completely shot, and like the whole thing felt just terrible.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah. It's weird because you would think they would have the foresight if they're doing this continuous story. Maybe they didn't have the script written yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just you be on top of that.
Right? Why not
I understand a scene here and there, but I think it was all of the scenes that featured them as kids. Yeah. Except for ones that were explicitly in the first movie, obviously.
Yeah, there were some scenes in here where I was thinking just in terms of filming, if they had scheduled just, the kids to film and then the adults to film right after.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about other things besides the plot of the movie because it just meandered for quite a bit in the middle there, and I was trying to find something to...
It's a bunch of nonsense. It's like I don't know, whatever. It's just...
I get
it's dumb.
What they were doing, but in a story, right? They spent... Let's just say they dedicated 8 chapters to something that could have been done in half a chapter.
Yeah, for real.
It's just we don't need I don't need all these descriptions of all this stuff.
So
we know what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it. I would say it's actually below average. I think I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah. There just wasn't much for me to like,
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what I can hold on to here. I don't know why I'm trying to defend this movie. I don't really like it that much, but
because it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm not offended by it.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's just there were some. Yeah, it's just fine. Don't run out and see it at all. Even
you can
okay,
but whatever.
This is the type of movie
I don't recommend it.
No, yeah, man. The more I think about it, the more I can't really recommend it. I don't know who it's for.
It's for a very general audience. That's who it's for. That's why you have all the comedy in there, because you want to scare them, but you don't really want to scare them that much.
Right.
You don't want to get too spooky.
Because I liked...
Got to throw Bill Hader in there and get the comedy.
Yeah, I did like Bill Hader. I
liked him too.
He had quite a bit of genuine humor in there. Yeah. And when he alleviated tension, I don't know, it felt natural.
There were some jokes where I was groaning, but that was the same for all the characters. So.
Yeah. Bill had some heart. It's funny knowing, whenever he gets scared in real life, he just smiles. So, like they had to do a lot of reshoots because they have the scare and he's just like
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, Bill, that was great. We're just gonna need you not to smile.
Yeah.
He's like, I was terrified. So I was chuckling at that throughout the movie because I mean the shots they did get, they were.
He was good.
Yeah,
he was
they were
good.
genuine.
What do you rate it out of 10?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to hop in your boat. That's a 4.
Piggybacker.
Because it's not a 5. It's not a 5, but I think 3's too low.
Yeah, it is.
There's yeah.
I just say it's below
not,
mediocre. That's what I say.
Yeah,
it's a below average film.
Yeah,
yeah. Not the worst thing in the world, but not good.
Right. I can see why the theater wasn't packed.
Yeah, but 10 showings. I think they have 10 showings tonight on opening night at a small theater.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Ridiculous.
No, that's
they had
crazy.
so much staff too.
I know. I was overwhelmed at the counter.
Yeah,
I was.
We had moths in the theater too.
Oh my gosh!
Across the screen.
It was like during one of the most
the finale. It was in the finale.
It was one of the most tension-filled areas.
Yeah,
right?
I was at first. I thought it was in the movie.
I thought that too.
And then I was like, no, that's definitely in the theater.
Yeah, maybe that took me out of the horror element too.
All right, going into the spoilers. What was up with the intro with the killing the gay guy? That felt so weird.
It felt out of place.
It's bizarre too because if I understand the world right, doesn't he only kill kids? The clown. Right? Isn't that his thing? He just kills kids. And kids are supposed to be the only ones that are able to see him too.
Huh.
I don't know what the deal was with that then. These assholes at a fair beat the crap out of a gay guy, throw him off a bridge into the water.
Like and
then Pennywise sees him on the shore and bites his shoulder or whatever. It's like, what is this?
I don't know. Like
this feels it felt out of place. Yeah.
It felt it felt like those bullies just straight up murdered that kid.
They did.
So I mean they did, right?
They did. I mean, he could have died very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, and Pennywise
could have drowned.
Pennywise seemed secondary to that situation.
He was. Yeah, why was that the inciting incident that brought Pennywise back? It's so weird. It was so bizarre and it was so detailed and specific that the relationship and everything and the dialogue and all that. It was I thought one of them was a main character.
As did I, yeah.
The one that survived. I thought he was a main character and he was going to go on to be oh, I hate Pennywise now because he killed my boyfriend.
Yeah. But no.
No, it was just was that in the book? I don't know. It felt really, really weird.
It did.
None of those characters come back. Nope. The bullies, the boyfriend, none of them.
Nope.
So weird. Also weird, bringing back that bully from the first movie.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the head with not a nail gun, but that thing that they used to kill cows. Shot in the head, falls down the well, bounces off the sides of the well. Doesn't die somehow?
Yeah, they explain it by just him washing out with all these other bodies.
Yeah, Pennywise saved him.
Somehow, what are the extents of Pennywise's powers?
And why did he save him? Just so he could get him to kill the kids? Or the adults now? But
try?
It didn't contribute. I know this is in the original story that character comes back. I know he doesn't die like that, though, initially when he gets shot in the head. I know that doesn't happen. And I know, I would think that he would contribute more to the story or something. It feels so, could have cut that out very easily and nothing would be lost. There's no character growth moment that is a result of it. He has no real banter with any of the other characters. It's really bizarre. And
what happens to that other character? He was driving.
Yeah, that was weird, huh? I liked that, actually. I liked that his buddy was like a zombie driving him around. I don't know why. I kind of enjoyed that. He's because he gets in the car, he's like, go. And the guy's like, drives away.
Just, slinks his head over.
It's like, all right, man. Got a zombie buddy. He never comes back, though. No. Yeah, it did almost feel like they were going to build that up to something, too. Some sort of something with the character, but he just dies by getting stabbed in the head. And it's weird because we just saw him get stabbed in the chest, jump out a third-story window, and survive that. So it seemed like they established that he couldn't die, or not very easily, at least.
Yeah,
But
he seemed very Halloween-esque.
yeah, very bizarre, very very bizarre. Also, when that character gets stabbed in the mouth, right, and they just like gauze it up. It's like he doesn't need stitches.
Gosh, yeah,
just gauze it up. That's fine. We see the knife inside his mouth, and it's like he just needs a Band-Aid.
Yeah, they kind of glossed over that pretty quick.
Speaking of comedy in the wrong place, right? He stabs that guy in the chest and then runs out the door. And as he's running out, he's like, "Cut off that mullet, man! It's been 27 years." As he's like freaking bleeding from his mouth, and it's like supposed to be a horrible situation.
Yeah, that's a moment where you don't need comedy.
Yeah, it felt like it was tacked on afterwards.
Like, I think it was. I thought the comedy with him closing the shower curtain was good, because he's just like he's just so surprised, like he has no idea what just happened. Right, he just got stabbed in the cheek.
Yeah,
and he's just like all bewildered as he's like shutting the curtain, and then the guy walks up and then he gets stabbed. But yeah, that joke didn't feel
so out of place.
It didn't feel right.
Yeah,
it was just like the visual element of it. I like that. But that joke afterward is, I'm just gonna keep repeating this. You know, that shower scene.
In the end, there's that they redo that part with the 3 doors where it's one door is listed not scary, scary, and then very scary.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this. Almost feels like a spoof movie. That you could put that in a spoof horror film, and it's like it would work as like a total comedy. Like the whole thing is comedy.
Yeah, that whole thing could have been its own bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, SNL
style. Yeah, exactly. That's like just straight comedy, that whole scene. Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird to me that they're like doing it so much. Because I want to be scared, but I can't. The movie doesn't let me be scared. You know?
Yeah. I like the genuine humor before that.
I like any humor that is true to a character and true to a situation.
Yeah. You get the realization of characters overcoming their flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was worded extremely
I
well.
It.
I know. Yeah, I should be a poet. But man, the end like letter thing. I don't know how I really felt about that.
What was it?
Like him Stanley writing to everybody after.
Whatever. Like that's just like there's so many moments like that where it's just like, yeah, this is a movie. This is a movie-ass movie. That's what you do in a movie.
Right.
You know? She met like the Beverly, she married a guy that was just like her dad, and he's like his dialogue is all terrible. It's all like just very stereotypical, like bad guy kind of stuff. And it's like, man, this is a real situation, you know? But the writing is and the acting is so just cartoony that I can't take it seriously.
Dude, when they introduce Beverly's, I guess, husband at the beginning of the movie,
mm-hmm.
his dialogue is just, it flips a 180 so hard. Like you know, you can't really see it coming. But that's like not in a good way.
It's goofy.
Yeah, it just like, you know, you've established this character is this type of way, and then all of a sudden they're not.
Yeah, man. That whole second act, man. It's crazy how nothing happened. The only thing I can think of is that, so Bill Hader's character is gay, right? Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to get out of this. It's very like, it's weird because we had that opening with the gay characters, and then we have this like very subtle revelation that Bill Hader is gay as well, but it's like very, they don't just come out and say it. It's like you kind of, it's buried a little bit.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just kind of weird that they felt the need to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, damn it. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. That's the only thing I could think of that really comes back in that second act is that they set up that his character might be gay, and then at the end you find out that he's gay.
Ooh.
That's the only thing from that whole second act where they're getting spooked by Pennywise in different scenarios that comes back in any meaningful way. And even then, it's not even really that meaningful. It's just a little bit of character depth.
Yeah, and then he recarves the initials at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's just gonna be
Something.
traumatized for life.
Yeah.
That's character development for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like this movie.
No.
I think the first one was better in pretty much every way. That dude, okay, one more out of place comedy bit. That part where he's in the basement of the pharmacy and he's fighting that zombie dude, he's choking him out, and then he vomits blood on him and they start playing a song from the first movie. It's like some pop song or something like that. And it's, I don't know, it's like, this is a scary scene, right? Why are you doing something so overtly comedic and out of place? It just feels weird to me.
Yeah, in those like scenes where they're getting their tokens, I'd like what was real and what wasn't, because like there were some who's it? Yeah, Eddie, right? He comes back with all this crap on him, but I'm thinking in real life, what was that? Did he get doused in oil?
Yeah, they did play fast and loose with that sort of thing. Yeah. So like you would think once they realize what's going on, that whatever, yeah, if they're doused in blood or whatever it is, that it should just go away. But that doesn't really happen consistently, because like Beverly at the end, right? She's got blood all over her and that stays. But then the fat kid, not fat anymore, don't know his name.
Willie?
Willie? Yeah.
Billy?
Billy? I don't know.
He
gets stuff carved in him, but then that goes away. They play, the rules are all over the place.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty consistently all over the place.
Yeah.
The way they kill Pennywise, it's like it's funny because it's the same way they defeat him in the first one. They just kind of did it more, right? Because the first one they defeat him by not being afraid of him anymore. This one it's pretty similar. They have to not be afraid of him and they have to minimize who he is. You're just a stupid clown.
You're just a hater, man.
Yeah. In chapter 2.
See chapter 1 over this, if you're going to watch any of them.
Yep.
Oh, wait, I need to rate it. Oh, wait, no, I already did.
Dude, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Well, welcome to the present. You have just finished listening to the Tall Kings review.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for listening to the Tall King.
We don't know how to end freaking...
Well, wait, one more time. Thank you for listening to the... Wait, one more time.
What?
Thank you for looking at the Tall King with your ears.
Oh my gosh.
Nailed it. First try.
Goodbye. Goodbye.